Hello. Okay, I'm hoping this video is going to be quite interesting. Looked around on YouTube and I can't find another video of this specifically, so this might be a little bit of an anticlimax, but we'll see. This video could be quite unusual, hopefully. I've cut the box open there, so I'm nearly ready to go. You might just see here behind us another example of what we're actually going to look at. So the Olympus Trip 35, made from what, 1967, 68, something like that, up and all the way through to the early to mid 80s. So a really long time, and a really great camera, a really great lens, solidly made, and just renowned as being brilliant, really. Still loved, and there's a really great cult following online for these. I have one or two of these already. That one works great. That was the first one I got. Less than a tenner, I think, on eBay. Bit of a chance with some of these because things do go wrong with them. That one works great. I received another one that has a wobbly lens. It's not attached to the body quite right, but it does more or less appear to work. I don't think I'd really want to run a film through it particularly, but it does more or less seem to work. And I have a third one which I just kind of won on eBay without really meaning to, if you know what I mean, in this original case that's extremely battered, but only I've ever seen a like that now. And that one is an older one. It has a a chrome shutter button rather than the black plastic one that you see on these, and that also seems to work, but it possibly just needs a little bit of a clean inside and a bit of a tidy up, because it seems to slip slightly. It's supposed to block you from taking a shot when there's not enough light, and that does work, but it seems that if you keep pressing, you seem to be able to slip past the prevention mechanism sort of thing. Anyway, that's not why we're here to look at others, so let's see what we've got in here. Well, you pretty much know what we've got in here. Not sure if this is for a hamster to bed down in or something, but it's interesting. Packaging is pretty good packaging, I suppose, but okay, this is going to be fun tidying up, but at least it's well packed. So I did kind of wonder if they might just put a paper around the box. Okay, so you're beginning to see what we have here. I don't think there's another unboxing video on eBay for one of these, so I'm quite interested to see what's in there. I'm just looking through the rest of the box. I don't think there's anything in here. I guess I'll have to have a search through to make sure, but yikes, what a mess. Okay, let's get all that out of the way, and I'll just shake off a few more of these bits. So it's quite nice that he's packaged that up with a bit of tape, because I'll just at least the box itself hasn't been damaged or covered in all this crap. So obviously what we're looking at here is a boxed, I would say well, near mint Olympus Trip 35. Now, I got this on a buy it now because I'm religiously checking eBay every 5 seconds for new things on certain keywords, etc. And I think it was a pretty good price. I mean, it wasn't in the fact that, look, who needs an ancient camera, whether it's boxed or not, and especially when you've already got one, or two, or three. But you don't see many like this, so I thought, sod it, I'm going to get it. So I think it cost me £25. Buy it now, plus postage, so probably 30 quid, which, what's that, $50? Excessive, yes, but just look at that. Not a mark on it. You could almost believe it was brand new. So let's have a look. I mean, brilliant design, isn't it? I mean, as far as I know, this design stayed the same for the whole run of these. I've never seen any different designs, and I think this is quite a later model. I mean, it looks like a sort of 60s design, doesn't it? But I'm pretty sure this survived right through to the 80s, because I think this one is probably from the 80s, but we can have a look at that. So let's just take a look. Same on all three sides there. There's a cutout there which I think something is supposed to poke through, a serial number possibly off the camera, maybe even on the camera itself, because they are printed on the top, so perhaps it's not in the box the right way around. We'll see. So it just looks like that slides off. So we've got that on three sides, and the bottom, as we saw a bit earlier, just says Olympus Optical Co Limited, Tokyo, Japan, made in Japan. I doubt most Japanese cameras are made in Japan anymore, but I don't know, they're probably all made in China, but I'm not sure of that. So I'm going to try and carefully remove the box. So we've removed that. Olympus camera, authorised distributors and service centres. American spelling of centres. So looks like there was quite a few of those. Just out of interest, let's see where they were in the UK, seeing as that's where I am. Perhaps nowhere. North America, Central America, Europe. What would we be under? England. So yeah, so basically there's one place in each country there where you could probably get the servicing done. Progress through precision, photographic, medical, microscopic measuring and audio equipment. Yes. So there you go. If you want to send a cable to Olympus, or a telex, or good old phone number. Not sure if that gives us a date or anything. 0378, could that be? 0378? I don't know. Perhaps. Okay, so very nice. Original warranty card and original manual. Also seems to be in good condition. There's a little bit of a mark here that I can actually feel that. Might just wipe off, I don't know. Instructions E and G, so English and German, I guess. Let's have a quick look. So I mean, you can download this online, so it's not critical to have this, and let's face it, it's an easy to use camera, but it's pretty cool to actually have that in such good condition as well. The ones that you do see obviously tend to be fairly well battered, so it's pretty cool overall. I'm pretty pleased so far. Let's see if we can just lay that out properly. So there we go. There's the little red tongue that pops up when there's a problem with the exposure. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Carefully try and fold that back up. Is it on the other side as well? Yes. So we've got some further details on the back of taking pictures. Flash photography section. So don't get a flash with this, but you can of course add one. And how to do that. The main features of the camera, the specs. Pretty cool. And a little guide which is pretty nice on your focusing if you're taking a picture of a couple of people or 2 or 3 people. You want that 1.5 meters. There we've got portraits at 1 meter. We've got the 3 meter range, and when you're taking pictures of pretty much anything else further away, you want the mountain infinity setting. So that just shows how easy it is to focus with one of these things. It is a little bit of a challenge though, because you don't get the focusing like with an SLR or something. You don't see the focusing, everything looks in focus to you through the viewfinder, so it's easy to take a picture and then not realise that you perhaps haven't focused. So there's the hole on the side, which obviously is supposed to have the camera pointing through, which it actually does. So it was just in the case the wrong way around. So 47297777. That's pretty cool. 777 on the end. I mean, people seem to get quite interested in different serial numbers and things. 47297777. So what have I got here? This one is 535. So I think this one dates from kind of the early 80s. So I wonder if this one is maybe late 70s. That would probably add up with what we know so far. So we've got the original box, the original manual, the original warranty card, and the original lens cap still in place. These tend to get lost because they fall off. They're just not very secure. Although that one does seem pretty secure. And the original strap. And of course the camera is in here. So let's just lift that out. Oh dear, I don't want to break it. Let's lift that up. So, I mean, as you can see, pretty perfect condition. I mean, somebody's really paid good care of that, taken good care. I mean, it's pretty impressive, I have to say, for such an old camera. He or she does say that it works. They said they had a film in it a few months ago, and great results as usual, basically, as I said. So we can presume it's going to work okay. If you are going to buy one of these, obviously if you've got all the box and etc, brilliant, but you're almost certainly not going to get that. You may get the case, but this one doesn't have the case. That is quite a notable exception. I think they did come with these by default, but they're so nasty now that they're not really worth having, apart from a bit of a curiosity or a collection point of view. The lens cap's handy to have, so that's obviously the original lens cap. I do have another original there, which I took. It didn't come with that one specifically, it came with another one that was in less good condition, but that's had this string attached to it, which is handy because you can't lose it, but it isn't in great condition. So to have that is rather nice, and it does seem to fit on there a bit better than some of the others. So if you're going to buy one of these, yeah, if you do see one that has been obviously kept in a case, as in if it comes with a case and it looks like, yeah, that camera's been in that case for the last 20-30 years, that's a good indication. And if it's got a lens cap, that's also good, because what you want is one where the lens has not been exposed to light constantly for the last 30-40 years, because this cell here, this is how the camera is powered. This Selenium, I don't know. There's no batteries. It's an automatic camera, but with no batteries at all. It's all analog, with a little bit of power supplied by this cell, which basically provides metering for the automatic exposure. So the more light that hits this, there's a slight voltage generated, which moves, a slight current, which can move a little needle inside and tell the camera how to expose the photo. So fantastic design. No reason why you couldn't still have a camera like this built today, really. I mean, you know, you just don't need all the kind of crap that you would get on a camera, but of course people don't buy film cameras anymore, so no demand for anything like this. Do have a huge following online on Flickr, etc. Loads of groups for these, and basically the lens is just superb optically for the camera. For a consumer little point and shoot camera, it's got a superb lens, so that's why they're so popular. So probably need to wind on. Viewfinder looks clear. Looking pretty good. You can see if you look through there, you get the parallax lines, etc. And you can see that little window below. There we go, kind of see. That lets you peek through and see what your camera is set to. Both the, it says A for automatic exposure, and you've also got the focusing zone, the scale focusing. So you can twist this to adjust the focusing. Now, that's interesting that we've got red there. I think, is that normal? There is something about that. I think that's normal. I think it's if there isn't red that you've got an interesting one. Oh, that's interesting. That's definitely a different colour, isn't it? Maybe this one's just faded. That was definitely brighter. Interesting. I mean, come on, getting slightly pedantic here with these things, but hey, you know, there's a obsessive following for these online, so people do notice these things. So maybe that's significant. Maybe it just means it's in good nick and hasn't been used much. You set the ISO on this ring here. I know the focusing is not going to work on the camera that close, but we set the film speed. It does go ridiculously low, 25. I don't think you'll get any 25 ISO film these days. I mean, what use that must have been, God. I mean, basically bright sunlight or forget it, I would guess, at that kind of speed. So we go 25, 40, 50, 64, 80, I know this isn't in focus, but 80, 100, get in there, 125, 160, 200, 250, 320, 400. I think the very early ones didn't go up to 400. 200 is generally, you know, if you're buying cheap film these days, it's going to be pretty much ISO 200. So you set that, we put the film in, and that's it. You focus, you set it to A there. You can manually set the aperture by twisting there, but it suggests that's for flash only, really. And to be honest, with this kind of camera, there's just no need. You just take the picture, you know. You just put it to automatic and you take the picture. So in theory, if I put the lens cap back on and we try and wind it on, yeah, and then if we look through here, so obviously the light meter is covered up by, at the moment, it's very bright outside. There we go. So regardless of what I do, when I press this, there we go, red flag. So that's telling me that there's not enough light to take the picture. So if I flick the lens cap off, do that again, we should get a click, and we do. So that's a pretty good indication that the camera's in working order and that it's metering correctly. So I don't think there's a film in here, but if there is, I'm about to spoil it. There isn't. So let's open that up, and one other thing we can do is we can wind that on again, which I've done, and if I press this, we should, assuming there's enough light, there is, and we see the shutter open. So that's pretty cool. We could probably try reducing the aperture manually. That looked pretty small, and if we set it to 2.8, that looked pretty big. So I'm not an expert. Some people might be able to judge if that was big enough, if they've seen enough of these cameras, if that was right or wrong, but I don't really have a clue. But that looked pretty good to me. So that and the fact that the guy said that the camera is in working order makes me think that's pretty much excellent. I mean, I can't really see, apart from just a tiny bit of tiny bit of sort of grime, as in just a few marks that will probably wipe off, or it might be just a little tiny scratch here and there. But I think that's pretty much the best condition one I've got. I think I'm probably going to keep this one just in its box, packaged away. I have another one here, like I say, that works fine, so at least, I don't know, I've run a film through it, I need to get that damn thing developed. I'm presuming that does, and I get decent pictures from it. I think really I should probably keep this one mint and preserved, as it were, for posterity. Sorry. Because it is in such good condition. It really would be a shame to take it out and drop it or something stupid. So I'll tell you what we will do just before we call it a day, is what we can do is we can date the camera quite accurately if we look at basically the pressure plate on the back. Oh, the other thing I should mention is people do say they use light seals, which basically just a spongy pad here and here on the door. I can see that's going to come off in my fingers. That usually needs to be replaced. Although people generally say even if there's nothing there, even if it's all come away or it's been rubbed off or intentionally, there's probably not that much chance of light leaking in. There's no seals anywhere else around the door. It's only here. So even if they look like they need replacing like this, it's probably not necessary. But we'll see. I may change my mind on that when I get a film back, because the other one that I have run a film through is in pretty similar condition. with the light seals, so it may well be that I'll change my mind on that and get those replaced, which you can just order some from foam. People sell kits for specific cameras or just cameras in general, or you can kind of use your own initiative and find something similar if you look online what people have used in the past. Anyway, there is a pressure plate here which pushes the film basically against the camera and keeps it in place, so you get an accurate level exposure. And this behind here, if we're careful, will be the date. I don't like taking these off because I feel like I'm going to break them. There we go. So this says, and I don't know if you can see that, not really. It says N16. So N is, or you sometimes get a Japanese character here, or a letter. Seems to have changed at some point in the manufacturing process. That signifies where it was made, which factory, apparently, people seem to think. And the next two are the year and month. So 1 would mean 1981 in this case. You can't really tell if it's the 60s, 70s or 80s, it's just the last digit of the year, but you can kind of tell by the serial number, and I know that this is getting towards the high end, I think, of the serial numbers, 4729777, so I'm pretty sure that's getting on a bit in terms of numbering, so I'm pretty sure that'll be 1981. I'm pretty sure one of the others is sort of a couple of years on from that, and the 6 is 6, so the 6th month of 1981. I think they use letters for numbers above 9, for the months above 9. Can't remember what the letters are, but if you look online you can find that. So let's fit this back. I always kind of screw this up with which way that's going to go, because obviously you want the holes to line up with the film sprocket things there. So that's that way, isn't it? Yeah. So let's try and reattach this without breaking anything. Clip that into place and feed that back on there. So there we go. So I'm pretty sure that is the first unboxing video that I've seen around for an Olympus Trip 35. That's pretty cool, I think. I'm quite happy with that. As I say, superb camera that if you're into film, I mean I've only just got into using film in the last few weeks really. I'm I wasn't a big film user, but it just seems, it's just fun. It really makes you think about what you're doing. You've only got X number of shots, you can't see the results until you get it developed. So there's a real anticipation. You'll have forgotten the pictures that you've taken, and if you can get some great little cameras, some fun little cameras. This, deserves. Everybody should have one of these. They made something apparently in the region of 10 million of these things. So there seems to be a constant supply of them on eBay that people are just dredging up from drawers and attics and what have you, and house clearances, and no doubt when people have died sadly and things like that. There just seems to be an unlimited supply of the things. Oops, I think I overstayed my overshot the maximum recording time on my camera there. So waffled on for a minute or two after it had stopped without even realising. But yeah, I was just going to say that there does seem to be an unlimited kind of supply of these things on eBay. There are more and more, obviously, where people are selling them on. They know that they're popular. They've kind of realised that there's a market for them. So you do kind of see a few kind of expensive ones. And you do see people who've recovered them and refurbished them with different coverings here, which look very nice, but I don't think I would pay kind of £100 for one, or something where you see them in great condition, with it reconditioned inside, recovered, and with the sort of the lens cap and the accessories and the case and some filters and the flash maybe or something, and it's like £100, and I think it's a bit silly really. I think it's a bit excessive. So I think what I just paid was the most I would ever likely to pay for one, and hopefully now I've kind of got the ultimate, haven't I? I've kind of got everything I need. I think that's kind of me done with buying these things. So it was probably worth it just to stop stop the madness, stop the insanity of buying the damn things. Hasn't stopped me buying other cameras, of course. Just whilst we're here, I'll just quickly show you, maybe do a little video on this at some point. A similar camera, but this is a pen, Olympus Pen. Similar looking lens with a selenium meter around it, similar lens cap in fact. And this is a lovely little thing. It's smaller actually than the Trip. Doesn't look it in the video there, but it is. Sorry. And this is a half frame camera, so you get twice as many shots on the film, and you get this kind of odd, kind of tall viewfinder because you're getting half the 35mm frame. So if you imagine a snapshot picture, 6x4 or whatever picture, it's basically cut in half, so you get a little portrait, and you actually have to turn the camera that way to get a wider shot. So anyway, that's nothing to do with this, so we'll leave that. But yeah, the classic Olympus Trip 35, fantastic camera. If you don't have one, go and buy one. I can say that now because I have all the Olympus Trips I need, and you're not going to be competing against me on eBay. So go and get one. Brilliant camera. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.